Hey, what's going on, guys? Norsky here, and in this video I'm going to be ranking every map in Battlefield 1 from worst to best. Specifically, I'm ranking these maps based on the game mode Conquest. There are a total of 29 maps in Battlefield 1. Well, technically there are a total of 32 maps if you include the air assault maps, but I'm not including them in this ranking. Now, Battlefield 1 has some pretty epic maps, but it also has a few duds. The thing I love about Battlefield 1 is each map has its own unique characteristics that make each one feel different. The dynamic weather also adds to that uniqueness, even though it seems like I play in the fog way too often. To keep this video from being an hour long, I'm only going to talk briefly about each map. Now, just like all of my ranking videos, the order of this list is all based on my opinion, so don't get too mad if I happen to put your favorite map dead last. Let me know in the comments some of your favorite maps in Battlefield 1. You can also let me know some of your least favorite maps too if you want. Anyways, with all of that said, grab some popcorn or something to munch on because this is kind of a long video, and let's get started. Starting off with the worst ranked maps, coming in at the 29th spot is Galicia. Personally, I've never really cared for this map just because it's so wide open and flat. Galicia also has a very bland and plain look to it. I know that there's a few people who love this map, and I'm pretty sure most of the people that do enjoy this map are people that play the scout class or the tanker / pilot class. Even though this is my least favorite map in Battlefield 1, I do kind of enjoy playing on it once in a while just to change things up, but that still doesn't change the fact that this is the worst map in Battlefield 1 in my opinion. At the number 28 spot, I have Lupkow Pass. This map is all based on verticality and having the higher ground, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Lupkow Pass is a great map if you're a pilot, but when it comes to infantry gameplay, this map is a big time dud. Also, there's a pretty good reason why most people hardly ever play this map, and that's because when it comes up to vote, hardly anyone votes for it because it's not a very good map. In all honesty, I think I've only played this map maybe a total of 10 to 12 times, which I'm kind of thankful for because I really don't care for this map. It's only a hair better than Galicia just because this map isn't as bland, and I also like the snowy setting. Moving on to the number 27 spot, which is a map by the name of Caporetto. Another map that is vertically focused. I honestly love the setting in this map with the beautiful sky and mountains. It looks pretty awesome. This map is a Conquest assault map, which for the most part I don't really care for in Battlefield 1. I would probably rank this map higher if it was a regular Conquest map. It would be pretty cool if DICE made it an option where you could choose to play Conquest Assault or the normal Conquest. Last thing to mention is this map is kind of unbalanced. I would say roughly 8 or 9 times out of 10, if you are on the attacking side, you are probably gonna lose. Coming in at the 26th position is Albion. What can I say about this map now? Well, for starters, Albion is way too big of a map, which means everything is way more spread out and the gameplay can be pretty slow. I don't really have any major issues with this map, except for the fact that it doesn't need to be such a big map. It's also a map that is way too friendly to snipers. Other than that, it's a subpar map at best in my opinion, which is why it ranks only 26th. Coming in at the 25th spot is going to be Cape Helles. This Conquest assault map isn't terrible. It's kinda cool when the offensive team storms the beaches and tries to attack and take over. The thing about Cape Helles is it feels like it's missing something. I'm not really sure what it is, but it is a map that had a lot of potential to be great, but it kinda falls short in my opinion. Another thing about this map is there really isn't anything memorable about it. At number 24, I have the map Giant Shadow. I remember when this map first came out, and it was really hyped up because it was the first fresh content that we had since the release of Battlefield 1, but at that time, this map was pretty disappointing. The scenery and setting of this map were really cool, but gameplay-wise, it wasn't too hot. When this map first came out, it was one of the worst maps in the game at that time. As time has went on, this map has grown on me a little bit. I do enjoy playing this map, but it's still a map that is pretty wide open unless you happen to be at the crashed Zeppelin. In all honesty, it's a cool looking map that doesn't have the greatest gameplay, so I think the 24th spot is just about the perfect spot for this map. Coming in at the number 23 spot is Prise de Tahure. When this map first came out, my initial thoughts were that I love this map, and it's an awesome action-packed map. At this point in time, I don't really love this map anymore, but I still think it's full of fun action. It's a fairly small map, which is the reason why it's so fast paced. I really love the looks and overall setting of this map. It's also pretty cool that it's a night map. This map doesn't really have the greatest flow, which is why it's so chaotic. Overall, I would classify Prise Tahure to be a fairly average map. At number 22 is Heligoland Bight. Gameplay wise, this is probably the most unique map in Battlefield 1. It's truly all focused on amphibious gameplay. Some people love that kind of gameplay, which is cool and all, but it's not really my personal preference. Although I do respect this kind of gameplay, in this map specifically, it's a cool change from the prototypical Battlefield 1 maps. Gameplay wise, there really isn't a ton of flow, which is fine, because most of the action on this map takes place in the water. I appreciate a map like Heligoland Bight, just because it is so different, but it still doesn't change the fact that there are a lot of maps in Battlefield 1 that are better than this one. Coming at the 21st spot is Fao Fortress. This is the first on-disc map in this ranking. Now, there are times where I really enjoyed playing this map because the setting is pretty cool and it offers a good variety of gameplay styles, which has definitely helped the longevity of this map staying somewhat fresh. There are also times where I hate playing on this map. The biggest problem with this map has got to be the actual fortress. First of all, the actual fortress area is a sniper's paradise because you can pick off people from almost anywhere on the map. Another thing is, I don't really understand why there has to be 2 capture points in the fortress. 1 flag in the fortress is enough in my opinion. I kinda have mixed feelings about this map, but overall this is a pretty solid map. At the number 20 spot, I have the map Zeebrugge. Zeebrugge is another amphibious type of map. It's not nearly as water focused as Heligoland Bight, but it still gives off a similar vibe. I think it's pretty cool that the setting of this map takes place on a ship. Gameplay wise, this map is somewhat enjoyable, but the flow is a bit sporadic, although the sporadic gameplay kinda adds to the character of this map. Zeebrugge is a pretty solid map, but in my opinion, it's not a map that really stands out. Coming in at the number 19 spot is Nivelle Nights. This was the first map that focused mostly on trench combat. It was also the first night map in Battlefield 1. Gameplay wise, this map is actually pretty solid, and the start of a match on this map is unique because each team starts with 2 flags already captured, which I believe is the only map in Battlefield 1 that starts like this. Visually, Nivelle Nights is one of the coolest looking in the game. The dark blue moonlit sky looks amazing in my opinion. This terrain also has to be one of the bumpiest in the game due to all the crater-like divots scattered pretty much everywhere around this map. When Nivelle Nights first came out, I didn't really enjoy this map, but at this point in time it's grown on me, and personally it's become a somewhat lovable map in Battlefield 1. At the number 18 spot, I have one of the most polarizing maps in the game, which is Suez. This map is pretty split when it comes to popularity. You either really enjoy playing on this map, or you never want to play on it because you can't stand it. The layout of this map has changed a few times just because it was so unbalanced. The current map layout works now in my opinion. The original map would have been much lower on this ranking, but in its current state, I really enjoy playing on this map. The desert setting is kind of bland, and visually it's not anything special. Suez is just a fun, fast-paced map. Moving on to the number 17 spot is another desert map, which is the map by the name of Sinai Desert. This was one of the first maps created in Battlefield 1. It was also the first map that we got a taste of during the open beta in Battlefield 1. This map was fairly unpopular as a whole. In fact, numerous people canceled their pre-order after playing this map in the open beta. At this point, like it or not, this map is a classic in Battlefield 1. This map is one of the largest in the game, and it's one of the most beautiful maps in the game. I know Sinai Desert is very sniper friendly, but I feel this map offers enough cover throughout the map where you can work around the sniper problem. If you really think about it, Sinai Desert brings a lot to the table, and it's just a good all-around map. Coming in at the number 16 spot is Rupture. Rupture is a map known for having the fields of red poppies. It's also known for having its chaotic bridge at the center of the map. Some people might think that I have this map ranked too low because it is a fairly popular map. Just in general, the DLC 1 maps are pretty popular. Obviously, it's because most of them are pretty good. I do think Rupture is a good map with a pretty good overall flow. The location of the flags work very well because the location kind of plays off the river that flows through the center of the map, splitting everything fairly evenly. Overall, Rupture has a lot of good qualities and it can be an enjoyable map to play on. Coming in at the number 15 spot is Brusilov Keep. I feel like this map is very underrated in the community just because there's a lot of people who can't stand this map because the design is too linear or it doesn't have a very good flow. Personally, I think this map has a nice flow and it also offers great gameplay for all styles. This map works good for the Scout, Support, Medic, and Assault classes. In a couple ways, it's kind of similar to Amiens. This snowy map is not the best looking, but it is kind of a cool looking map. Brusilov Keep is a very good map in my opinion, mainly because it has great versatility when it comes to what class you want to run. Coming in at the number 14 spot is Volga River, which is the first map in the upper half of this ranking. Another map that I really enjoy playing on. For such a big map, it's surprising that it has a lot of fast-paced gameplay with a lot of action, especially when it comes to the C flag. The main reason there is so much action at this flag is because typically if you can hold this capture point down, you'll win the match 9 times out of 10. Visually, this has to be one of the best looking snow maps in the game, especially if the sun is shining. Personally, I've enjoyed playing on Volga River since it was released, and it's just a really fun map. At the number 13 spot, I have the map Monte Grappa. Verticality, verticality, and more verticality. This map uses the difference in verticality about as perfectly as possible. This map has it all pretty much. Great flow, amazing all-around gameplay, and the map just looks stunning. The only issue this map has, and it's a small issue, is once in a while the hill-hugging snipers scattered around the map can be a tad bit annoying, but for the most part, they aren't too big of an issue. The B and D flags typically bring a lot of action because the Austro-Hungarian team normally has the D flag and the Italian team normally has the B flag. In between those two flags is a lot of amazing gunfights. The gameplay on this map is pretty good and visually it's just awesome. Coming in at the number 12 spot is Soissons. The setting of this map takes place in the countryside of France, which is why this map is pretty wide open for the most part. The town where Flag B is can offer some pretty intense action and super enjoyable gameplay. This map looks pretty nice, but it's not going to wow you with its looks, but this map does kind of give off a warm vibe, probably because it's always sunny. Soissons has a little bit of everything for everyone, which is why it's a fairly popular map throughout the Battlefield community. Coming at the number 11 spot is probably the most popular map in the game, which is Amiens. I'm probably going to get some hate for putting this map so low on the list, but I really don't care. I will say this map offers some of the best close quarter gameplay in all of Battlefield 1. This map does also have an amazing flow to it, and this map looks incredible. The destruction and demolished buildings look awesome. There's no map in Battlefield 1 that plays or feels like this one. It's just so unique, and it has an awesome sort of dark and gritty feel to it. Probably because of all the chaos and destruction. Amiens is a really good map that has a ton of character, which is why it comes in at the number 11 spot. We finally made it into the top 10. Now coming in at the number 10 spot is the map River Somme. The design of this map is one of the best in the entire game. In fact, it's probably a top 5 map in terms of its design. This map is totally deserving of being a top 5 map, possibly even a top 3 map. Conquest Assault is the main reason I put this map lower than it deserves. Like I said earlier, I wish we could have an option for either playing regular Conquest or Assault Conquest, because if this was a regular Conquest map, it would make the top 5 easily. The gameplay is incredible, it has pretty much everything you could want in a Battlefield 1 map. Even though it is a Conquest Assault map, it's still an amazing map. Moving on to the number 9 spot, I have Verdun Heights. The dark atmosphere of this map is amazing. The smoke-filled, red-tinted skies look so cool, and having fire on half of this map really helps set the tone. The verticality plays a pretty big role on this map. The majority of Verdun Heights is pretty wide open, which is perfect for players who love using snipers or LMGs. Although when it comes to the ruined church, it can make for some awesome close-quarter combat. Verdun Heights is a map with a lot of character with its crazy landscapes and hills and verticality. Along with all of the fire, it's a very memorable map. Coming in at the number 8 spot is the map Tsaritsyn. Tsaritsyn is the smallest map in the game, which means it's really fast-paced. All of the intense action is the reason I love this map. The cathedral is so crazy in so many ways. This map doesn't really need to have much of a flow because it is so small, and also because there are only 3 flags. Controlling the cathedral is obviously the key to winning a match on this map, although it can be a challenge to hold it because it's so massive. It also has numerous ways you can enter inside, which is why it's so difficult to control it. All in all, I really enjoy playing this map, and it's a true one of a kind. At number 7 is the map Quentin Scar. This map, simply put, has it all. Visually, it looks great, the gameplay has a really good flow. This map also has a nice happy medium for having just enough cover for the close quarter gameplay, and it also has enough wide open space for the scout class. St. Quentin Scar is a very balanced and well designed map that most people really enjoy playing on. I honestly feel that this map goes back to the roots of Battlefield more than most in Battlefield 1. St. Quentin Scar truly has everything you could want in a Battlefield map. At number 6, I have the map Empire's Edge. When it comes to overall looks, Empire's Edge is right at the top. Visually, with the sun just peeking over the horizon, this map is my favorite in Battlefield 1 visually. Empire's Edge not only looks amazing, but it also plays great too. This map is one of the biggest in Battlefield 1, it's also one of the most fun. Gameplay wise, it has everything from planes and tanks, and awesome infantry gameplay. I know DICE wanted to utilize the water, which is why we have the Dreadnought as our behemoth for this map, but I really wish there was an airship instead because I feel like it would work so much better instead. Anyways, Empire's Edge is a great all-around map in every way. We are down to the final 5 best maps in Battlefield 1, so you know these maps are going to be the best of the best, at least in my opinion. Coming in at the number 5 spot is Passchendaele. This map is just purely amazing from pretty much all aspects. It's honestly pretty difficult for a map to actually pull off even a fraction of a percentage of what it might have felt like during this battle, but I feel this map accomplishes that feat. With the dark gloomy skies to the fire scattered across the map and all of the pure destruction of pretty much everything, the vibe of Passchendaele, in my opinion, is the darkest and grittiest map in all of Battlefield 1. The setting of this map also makes it very immersive. Gameplay wise, this is one of the best maps in Battlefield 1. It offers plenty of cover and trenches for close quarter gameplay, and it also offers flat open areas for long range gameplay, so it has a nice happy medium. Overall, this is a true gem of a map, and I feel DICE did an excellent job at making the atmosphere and overall feel of this map so immersive. Coming in at the number 4 spot is Fort de Vaux. There is no other map in Battlefield 1 that can replicate the gameplay or the vibe of Fort de Vaux. This map is probably the most unique in Battlefield 1. It is probably the best close quarter gameplay in the game. Most of the map takes place inside the actual fort, which has a ton of entryways and hallways, which is the main reason this map has such amazing close quarter gameplay. It's a map that you have to be alert at pretty much all times because you never know when an enemy might be right around the corner. I love the intense action that this map provides, which is also probably the main reason most of the community loves this map too. Coming in at the number 3 spot is the map Argonne Forest. Argonne Forest is and has been one of the best maps in Battlefield 1 for a long time in my opinion. It offers some of the best all-around infantry gameplay in Battlefield 1. The setting of this map is so cool, and it's also pretty immersive. Now, I know this map is a forest, but in the game it almost feels like you're in a jungle because everything is so green and there are so many trees. This map works perfectly for close range gameplay, and it also works perfectly for long range gameplay. This map is full of action, and it is just full of great gameplay, and simply put, it is one of the best maps in the game. Coming at the number 2 spot is Achi Baba. When it comes to gameplay, this map is very similar in so many ways to Argonne Forest. It is also an infantry only map. The overall look and setting is practically a 180 compared to Argonne Forest since it takes place in a desert-like region. The overall infantry gameplay is easily the best in the game. It has an amazing flow, and the design of this map offers great gameplay for all classes and styles, which gives this map a lot of diversity. There really aren't many maps that offer great gameplay for every type of class and style, which is the reason this map is such a gem. Coming in at the number 1 spot is the map Ballroom Blitz. What can I say except this map is the best. I honestly have nothing bad to say about this map. This map is as close to perfection as you can possibly get in my opinion. It has planes, tanks, airship, amazing infantry gameplay for all classes and styles. This map is a masterpiece. It has been my favorite map for a long time now, and the longevity of this map is pretty amazing. I mean, every time I play on this map, I always have a good time, and it's crazy because I never get bored of playing this map, and to be honest, I could play it all day, every day, because it is such a great map. I know this was a pretty long video, but if you guys are still watching this video, you are truly awesome, and I really appreciate you. Now let me know in the comments some of your favorite maps, along with some of your least favorite maps from Battlefield 1. Anyways, thanks for watching, hit the like button if you enjoyed, and also if you like this type of content, then hit the subscribe button and become part of the Night Squad. Anyways, thanks again guys, and I'll catch you later.